it going? Hopping on here quickly to ramble on about Premiere, the round trip you had to do to resolve, and I tried to record this for the podcast. Podcast is also a live stream happening right now, so if you're listening to this without the video, sorry, there will be some quick bits about video stuff. I'm actually just gonna kill the Harris Heller string beats right now and just go no audio. All right. So round tripping from Premiere to Resolve, I've done it a few times, encountered a couple of issues when doing that. We can go full screen. Let's just full screen this. Also don't need a stinger every time. Let's just fade. Using OBS over here. Let's just fade into the other screen. So yeah, I didn't really have too many problems before the last time trying to export our new video portrait that I did with my good friend PG, so nice of her to do that video with me. And I was getting media missing, could not figure out what it was. Looked at this video right here from Darren Moslin, a colorist about round tripping videos. And man, why is that such a funky shape? Let's pull that around a little bit. But how to easily import and resolve for newbies, no XML needed. That was a big help. So I had to do EDL for the first time ever. First time for some of everything. Now I got Mark messaging me. Mark, we're doing a podcast. We're going to go figure out what to cook. The EDL seemingly fixed the issue. I had to export using uncompressed QuickTime for the round tripping back to Premiere Pro, and that kind of was a little bit of a time issue there. And like, I'm not exactly sure if I was doing it right with the uncompressed, because the video is literally 60 seconds, maybe 70, and it literally took an hour. So I wasn't very thrilled with that. If I'd used a format like a MP4, it would have been quicker. I'm assuming less quality versus an uncompressed, but I also didn't really test to see if I could tell much of a difference. So that was a little bit of a problem when trying to do it that way. But that begs the question, why don't we just do all the editing in Resolve? And the thing is, I probably started Resolve in February when I got the A7 IV, and I'm recording on it right now. So we're here in December. So November here in December is the first time I kind of was able to use the color page alone without needing my handheld with some kind of guide, which I did have a guide, but I could get into that whole flow that, you know, when you're getting into in video making, where the tools get out the way and you don't really have to think about anything. I did hit that moment, and that took basically 11 months. So we are still a very big work in progress, just in the color page alone. The edit, I am finagling my way around. Is mainly a thing of keyboard shortcuts. And I know I can import my keyboard from Premiere. I've done some of that stuff. But man, that Premiere, since the first time I used it was 2017, it's just way faster to go through it. Some of the gigs are just a little bit bigger, so I don't really have time for the learning curve. So that answers the question of why not doing everything in Resolve. Some smaller things will be done in Resolve, like some reels and stories. Yes, absolutely, 100%. Those are going to be a Resolve situation. Platinum's on the way home. I'm trying to think, like, should we just cook potatoes? I got potatoes to air fry. We're going to cook something. I do want to share one more YouTuber that was a tremendous help over here. Why don't I know my Chrome windows by now? What's that for? I don't know what that is. F5? All right. So Colin Kelly was fantastic in helping. And there's some more colorists that I watched, but those two really, really were big time for me. Go back over here. Can I show y'all, definitely for the live stream, some will not recall this, but Apple had a app inside of a version of Final Cut, and that app had an app entitled Color, which also used the node trees, like you see, not in my player there, not there, not in the countdown. Do I not have a hotkey for my monitor? I'm not in love with every clip in the grade. I am in love with some of the clips that we got out of that grade. So that was really, really cool. Finally be able to use Resolve and just create in it and not be thinking about every little thing. But first, by every little thing, like what key do you press? What is the meaning of this? First video I ever watched in Resolve. Someone was going through it and I just saw them putting nodes up and there was zero explanation of even what the hotkeys were. There was nothing on the screen explaining what hotkeys were, and I was just kind of like, I don't know if results for me. It's like, are you supposed to already know all this? But we finally got to a point. It's like, all right, we can roll. Okay, so last thing, the Canon R6, the Mark II, R5 Mark II. Is apparently a thing. I am gonna say I kind of missed on the Canons in the sense that I thought those cameras would be a whole lot more popular in the YouTube sphere, and it looks like Sony really might have did a number on the YouTuber scene with their cameras, and it might be a little bit more of a Sony thing than I thought it would be. It's not like you don't see anybody using the RF mount at all, far from it, but it did not have the penetration that I thought that it probably would have. So that has been very, very interesting. I could have just flat out been wrong when saying that camera was really going to do all that it was going to do. As far as being the next cameras that you saw a lot, I think that could be biased. The A7 I am constantly hearing someone using that in videos. So I didn't put money on it, but I guess I just kind of missed a little bit. Canon's got to open up that RF mount. End of story. End of day. Okay. We're off to air fry potatoes. Just checking in with everybody. Portrait videos on the way.